Back, guys. With students heading off to college, we've got some helpful back-to-school tips you likely never even thought about here. Maintaining your car will keep your college-bound student out of trouble on the roads and out of your pockets. With us this morning, we have Susan Trumble and Randy Vanderpool with Mr. Transmission. So we have some college students that are getting ready to head on back to school. Something that I did not do, which is why I went through several cars, was make sure that my car was just up to date and in tune. So why is it so important for people to have those cars inspected right now?
Well, once was mom and dad's responsibility is now being shifted on to the student. And when you send your kids off to school, the very last thing you want is for their transmission or their vehicle to actually break down. So often it's like the family's extra vehicle. So there's usually some extra miles or it's got a few years on it. So it's real good to have a routine of maintenance which will help the life of the vehicle.
Okay, so why don't you take us through here? What are some of the more key points or very important? Randy, you can help me do this. Help me. You'll teach me how to do this. Can you explain to us exactly what should we start with as far as what's more important when it comes to checking and inspecting the car?
Number one, you want to keep the tire pressure at the right pressure because that's a safety hazard. If it's not, you get uneven tire wear also. But you want to be able to know how to check your oil level. Okay. Make sure that the coolant's all proper, and your brakes.
Okay. So these are three things that I still have to do. Okay, so you have some products that are here. So what are some of the things that people can use? We were talking about oil levels and coolant. What do we have? What are we looking at here? Because I'm confused by all of this.
One thing that you need to have is like jumper cables or like a jumper box. So in case your battery ever dies and you're at school and you know, it's late at night, and you can just quickly do, and you can be back on the road.
Okay, so what about these things right here?
These are just your oils.
Okay, so these are just oils.
Yes, and you know, just make sure every student should be able to know how to check, basically know how to check their engine oil level and something like that. Okay, and you have,
what is it? Is this the jumper cables?
Yes.
Yeah, so what do we have over here? Because these look like a bunch of like just plastic things, flexible plastic
These are your air filters.
Air filters.
Right.
Okay.
This is like an example of a dirty one. And
that's probably what mine's look like.
Probably.
Oh, goodness.
And this is a clean one. That's what it should look like.
Okay, so why is it so important as far as air filters to make sure you change them out?
For engine performance.
Okay.
Yeah, to get your top engine performance, you want to definitely have a clean air filter.
Okay, see, you know, you're teaching me something here because I don't even think I've ever asked about that. This is something that, of course, I definitely need, wiper blades. And why is it so important that we switch these out?
Well, definitely because of the weather. And with winter coming up, with kids going back to school, make sure that their windshield is clean so they can see for safety reasons.
Okay, are there different sorts of wiper blades? Because, you know, here in Cincinnati, we go through all sorts of weather. So would this help with snow and everything?
Well, I think there's definitely better degrees of wipers that you can buy. I don't think you want to skimp when it comes to your wipers. You definitely want to spend the money and get a little bit extra grade of wiper.
Okay, so we have that. And now the final thing, a big old brush. I don't know.
This here's for snow, ice removal.
Okay, I recognize that one. Yeah. Okay.
So you just want to be able to see when you go down the road.
Okay, and so thank you guys so much for joining us this morning. Really, really good information to have. And guys, you know that a lot of you are back to school, so make sure you get your cars inspected. You have to be very careful.